This is the podcast for people who don't have much time on their hands. It's Short Commute with Nick Griffith. I am your host, Nick Griffith. Great show coming up. We have Tyler McPhail as our guest. That was Cherry Glazer with Nuclear Bomb bringing us in. If you're listening to this when it first comes out, it's going to be December. And I don't know about where you live, but here in LA, it's starting to get chilly. And I bet you there's a bunch of people, like, especially in the Midwest, that are just like, oh, wow. Yeah, I know. But you need a sweater when you go out in the desert weather. Like, I promise, like, if it's cold, this is some thin air. You gotta have the sweater. I don't know, sometimes, like, when people are coming to visit, they're always like stressed out about what they're gonna wear when they come here. They're like, oh, you're living in Los Angeles. That's Hollywood. I gotta dress up all fancy. Like, no, you don't. Like, 10 seconds down in Hollywood, you're gonna realize you could have just worn like a burlap sack and you probably would have been better dressed than a lot of the people you're gonna meet down in Hollywood. Anyway, coming up, we have Chola Starter Kit by Angela Johnson. This is the interview with Tyler McPhail. This was a good interview. I enjoyed learning from him. It taught me a lot about like some of the conventions and stuff. And I hope that you guys enjoy this. Tyler McPhail.
It's like, you should only have like a couple of questions written down. And the person's supposed to go off like it's, like a Jimmy Fallon thing where he's like, hey, I got this vague question I'm laughing at. And then they just go on for 5 minutes because that's what an actor is or somebody's supposed to do. You're supposed to take like the most like, hey, what'd you eat for breakfast yesterday? Let me tell you about my childhood drama. Like, that's what an actor is supposed to do, is just like take this stupid question that they don't care about and then but bring in like talking points that they know the audience will love, that will sell their stuff and get people to sign their to come and pay for a signature, especially at conventions. You know what I mean? I'm Tyler McPhail. I run the Most Extreme Ranking Challenge podcast, and I do unnecessary debates at conventions, and a full-time waste of talent. And I'm a try hard is what I am. I try so hard just for ending the stick at the wall. I just throw at the wall and stick, and I'm just like, cool, that got me $20.
Tell me about the podcast. What podcasts are you working on?
So Most Extreme Ranking Challenge is we're actually doing a major rebrand. So that's cool. You're getting a scoop because this is the first time you're talking about it publicly. But we are doing a major rebrand with it. So before, it was like long ass podcasts. Like, we're talking an hour to 2.5 hours of, I created a really stupid game where we do the top 5, bottom 3 of something or of a subject. And we have myself and my co-hosts, Anna Mendoza, Matthew Johnson, and Lamar Harris. I don't know why I forgot their names. I talk to them every day. And a guest. And we play the stupid game where we make a really disjointed, chaotic list of ranking of a certain subject. And so, but now we're going to start actually doing it more as punishments, where somebody makes a list and we have to figure out what their list is. And so we've done some tests with Hot Wings with Ghost Pepper, and it's fun. We're going to do shocking. We're going to do full on slaps. We're going to go like, we had the idea because I love watching Japanese television, so I'm like, let's do some Japanese punishment. So we're doing one of just straight on slaps. Anna and Lamar will not be on the episode, but Matt and I will be on that video. But
so yeah. if anybody who's listening got mad at anything you said, they can tune in and watch you get slapped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'll be forgiven. No, and so that's what we're gonna be doing in season 3 is short form. And yeah, just straight to the punch of comedy, and then hopefully doing those like live shows and stuff like that, having comedians on. And yeah, so that is the goal, and that is what the podcast and everything will be. And we will do the long form ones. So I have another show that I'm really trying to like find a new home and find find a place for it. That's called Unnecessary Debates. We've been doing it like
that's pretty funny. I love that.
Yeah, that's like my baby. But like we've been doing it at Comic-Con 8 years in a row,
okay.
Filling up rooms and everything. And then they just kind of started putting us at like the worst time slot because they want to make a comedy night on Saturdays. But the thing is it's just not going to take. And so we were the only comedy panel outside of like anything that had to like, if it didn't have or was like produced by a celebrity, there was no other comedy panel. So we were the only other one. And so we like killed it. And so now they're letting in a lot more. and then they started
Oh,
putting us at like 8 p.m. at night on Saturday at Comic-Con, where I'm like,
oh
everybody's
wow.
everybody's partying, everybody's doing other things, like nobody. So our numbers dwindled for like the last 2 years, and I was like, it's not worth it because I was calling in huge favors of friends to come
Oh,
down and everything, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't worth it. I at least got to pay people or me get paid, and so that's where I'm trying to. And then my old producer on it, or like my old like co-founder for that old network, him and I are trying to pitch it to TV and stuff,
oh,
especially
okay.
especially since the Great Debaters just got canceled like a year ago. So
Oh,
we're trying to film, maybe
you have
possibly
like
fill
a
in that
gap
spot.
there. Yeah, that's cool.
Anyways,
That's crazy though that it's like your reward for putting together a successful comedy panel is that you're moved to a time slot where people don't want to watch comedy. Like
yeah,
that's
and then dude, because it was funny because like we would be at like 3 p.m. on Saturday in a 2,000 person room, and we would literally fill it up, and that's like
God.
what happened every year. And I would have like just my friends and like who are quasi celebrities. Like the most famous person I've ever had was my friend Olivia Olson, who's
Okay.
Marceline on Adventure Time. Like, you
That's
know,
familiar. Yeah.
she's amazing. Like she's the coolest. But I'm saying is I'm not bringing in, like people like A or B listers and stuff like that, stuff like that. And we're still filling up a room at Comic Con, which was like unheard of. It was just like it was just weird that they were just like, yeah, we're gonna put you at night on Saturday, which I was like, that makes sense for like comedy clubs, but not for Comic Con. And
Yeah,
then
and the
sorry,
fact that it's working is the fact it's like, wait, why would you change something that's making that draw? Like put some sponsorship behind it. Like why like put keep it in that time slot. Give the show that's drawing 2,000 people so
yeah.
it's more like stuff to work with. Do you have any sleeper conventions that maybe aren't getting enough
Ooh.
attention? Oh, Nick, I'm so sorry to bother you. I was just wondering, what would it cost to advertise on Short Commute? Oh, hello, stranger. Yeah, this is Nick Griffith, and it's pretty easy. Email shortcommutepod@gmail.com. And I'm actually running a promo right now. Yeah, that's right. You can get an ad roll on the show like this one for $10. And I'm only offering that to the first 3 people who reach out at shortcommutepod@gmail.com. Wow, that's crazy. $10 for an ad roll? That's right. Yeah, total stranger. Well, hey, man, what if I want to put my track on here or if I want to be on the podcast? Well, person I have never met before in my life, email shortcommutepod@gmail.com and we're going to get you taken care of. Also, I'm available for voice acting. All right, back to the show.
Yes. I will say Anime Riverside, we had our second year this year. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. And I hate Riverside. But it was actually really cool. And the area is pretty dope during the day. And they have like no life, no nightlife. But I mean, yeah, Anime Riverside's really cool. Anime Pasadena that just happened when this podcast releases is always a lot of fun, but that's the second biggest anime convention in SoCal. But I will like to give a shout out to Ronin Expo for sure. They've been around for like 9 years, and they're gonna have hopefully find a new venue outside of the one in Little Tokyo. But I mean, even WonderCon, like even though I was saying all that trash about San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon is still a really, really cool one if you don't want to go for all the celebrities and stuff. And then Emerald City Comic-Con. If you go to any comic convention or any pop culture convention, Emerald City in Seattle is like my favorite. I absolutely love it. We do unnecessary debates there. I don't
Okay.
do it. My panel partner or programming partner, Michael Tanner, who's also a comic book creator. Shout out to Junior Braves the Apocalypse. He'll do those up there because it's expensive and I don't get paid.
Where can we find you on the internet? What are your socials?
Anything Extreme Ranking. So at Extreme Ranking is us. We are possibly building a website if we can get a couple more events. But yeah, so anything at Extreme Ranking, and mine's the McFailure, but I really don't use anything besides TikTok and Discord. So Extreme Ranking is where it's a lot more entertaining and worthy.
What a fun person to talk to. Tyler, thanks for being on the show. We've got Missed Calls by Masai coming up. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Like this track. Hope you do too. That's it for Short Commute today. I am your host, Nick Griffith, and you can check me out at Fake Nick Griffith on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can find the show. We're at Short Commute Pod, and you can find that on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok as well. And then we have our websites too. Thanks to all the guests, and we'll see you next time. This is the Short Commute.